Welcome. Hey, how you doing? Sometimes you watch and sometimes you burn after watching.
Sometimes you burn while you're watching.
We do have this great milk stout though, Lancaster Brewing Company. Did you bring some, Mike?
Lancaster. Yes, I did actually. This is for my trip. Actually, this has been for a while. My trip from Pennsylvania.
Well, we're gonna drink that.
Lancaster, one of my favorite places in Pennsylvania.
Prost.
Prost. We have to look at each other and say Prost. Prost. Good work.
Prost.
Did you hear it? I said prost. Good liquid in my mouth.
It's yummy.
That's pretty good. It's good beer. So we had the dubious honor of watching
A Wes Craven classic, guys.
I don't know if we call it the
Guys,
classic.
there's some amazing actors in this, for the record.
It
Not
starts
even
off
being
that way.
ironic
Okay.
here.
No.
Not even
I
ironic.
agree. Like the pedigree of the celebrities in this movie is
Like especially from the
Astonishing.
odds. Especially from the odds. You know what I'm saying?
astonishing.
Real people like Joshua Jackson.
Did we
But
say
you're skipping ahead of the first three females who start this movie,
Yeah.
which is Shannon Elizabeth, Maya,
Yeah.
and Portia de Rossi.
What? Maya, that's
What?
who
Maya,
that is.
that's Maya.
Yeah.
I don't know. Portia Ross.
that was Ghetto Superstar? That is what you are.
That's what you are.
I think this is the last time she acted.
So
Acted,
it
I
opens
think.
on a rock
For the-
show
I think for the
too,
best, for the best,
like a late aughts rock show, playing a new version of Little Red Riding Hood because that's a thing.
Yeah, I put sarcastically this great music so far,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh.
And
what
you're
is
like,
this song?
because he's like, there's like one of those Red Riding Hood. There's a wolf in it or something. Like, oh yeah.
Like, this is a real song though. Like this is a cover.
That's
of
the
some-
song that guy sang to me when he hit on me very creepily at the gas station like a year ago, and it fucking creeped me out. He came up behind me, and I was wearing a hooded jacket that had like
I
plaid
don't
on the
remember
inside.
this part.
Don't you remember I was so upset because the
I
guy
remember being
came up
upset,
behind
but-
me and started singing this song like right here behind me, and it was like right during COVID too. So I'm like wearing a mask, and I'm like, can you please get off of me?
I mean, if I was gonna be creepy and whisper, I'd be like, "Who's that whispering in
Yeah.
the trees?" I was
Yeah.
like,
Right? That'd be way better.
Caps and jeans and swinging hands. Guys, let's keep talking about this movie though.
Yeah, no. So
Like,
they
this
were
is-
like at a rock show at like a field dance or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Like,
And they go to a psychic,
Sure,
Portia de
sure.
Rossi.
who is also there?
Yeah. And
I guess
she's
a real
like,
psychic
but
now?
she starts sensing something
I see
real.
blood.
And the mark of the beast. The beast is coming for you. The beast.
Both of you are in
Okay.
danger.
You know what they
Wait.
say to her?
In Shannon Elizabeth's career, what do you
I
think?
do.
Do you think this was their first movie?
No.
All the
She
American
did
Pies
Pie,
came
right?
before this,
Right?
and this was like she was barely in this. Like oh.
No, but that's like
That's
what
the
they
point.
do.
She's
That's
like
actually what they do with
2006.
Elizabeth a lot because
Yeah.
the Weinsteins just wanted to have sex with her.
Because-
By the way, this
no.
is a Weinstein movie, guys.
No, yeah.
Just in case you're wondering.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, that makes sense then.
100%.
She was definitely raped at some point.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shannon.
At some point. Maya too, probably. Right?
Mm.
Probably Portia de Rossi early on too. I mean, listen, you guys. This is why I hate Hollywood, because I can look at almost anyone in Hollywood and be like, you
Bob
were
Weinstein.
exploded.
Oh, Harvey Weinstein.
You were exploded.
as well.
This was a Miramax movie, and you were exploited. So, but anyway, she gives them like she has a real feeling about their futures, and what do they say to
Fiends
her?
in the moonlight. They said,
Lay off the crack pipe.
Lay off the crack pipe. Like, okay.
So the movie sound was off for us the whole time by like a half a second, just enough to, it was
The
noticeable.
sound versus the picture.
That makes
like,
me
we
kind of
couldn't-
happy.
It
I
makes
would have
sense.
actually rather watched it that way, honestly.
It made sense for us. We're like, yep, okay.
That's about right.
Like,
'Cause
she tried to restart it. I was like, it's not gonna work.
I had the foreboding sense that I hated this movie, so like the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that
Right?
it would be off.
I
from
feel
the
like
sound
that's
is
the way they
happy.
play it in the theaters.
Yeah,
They
Because
sound
you guys,
awful.
you guys, we get like early Jesse Eisenberg. Early, like first
What's
movie
his,
don't
char-
remember.
what's his
ever.
character's name, guys?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jimmy.
Jimmy. I was gonna say
You know, because
Jimmy.
I thought it was Billy for like half the movie. I'm like, who the fuck is Jimmy? And they're like, oh, that's the main character.
That's Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
And he's really young, you guys.
I would not.
And
guess
he's
for
clearly into this chick who looks like Numi Rapace and the chick from the Nexium
I thought
cult.
she, yes,
Just like the chick from the next
right.
one. I had to look her up, and I'm like, is it this lady?
But after,
My wife has read her
as
book,
she
by the
was
way.
as she was fully anorexic, like
like
this
totally.
girl was like 87
She had a
pounds.
cute
Yeah.
face, though.
Yeah, but her face and then 87 pounds.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was probably raped by Harvey Weinstein.
She was
too.
also in the movie for
You guys,
15
you know who the
seconds.
real werewolf of this movie was? Harvey Weinstein.
Yep.
God, this is just
Also,
a whole new.
Like, we'll say at the end, but the real werewolf, I'm going to say, I'm the spoiler right now. The real werewolf should have been Craig Kilborn.
Yes!
Everyone.
No,
Right?
or!
Right?
He said, or!
Right?
He said, or!
Right?
He said Craig Kilborn should be the one who, like, saved all of them.
His
like,
name
the
is
hero of the
Craig
movie.
Kilborn.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
She sucked on it. Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to this part.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to this part. Okay, we'll get to this part.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, that was in his contract.
I was so
you
fucking
guys,
pissed.
guess who we got to see, like, in his first movie debut? Milo
Craig
Ventimiglia.
Oh.
This is his first movie.
Yeah.
I
What?
said-
I'm trying to think. I think he had
What?
been on Gilmore Girls by now. No, maybe not. I can't.
No,
he was
he
only
was
like
definitely
third or
Gilmore.
fourth season.
He's definitely going
Okay,
This is
so but
2006, right?
He's
2006,
that
yeah.
beautiful little face.
But he's like, oh, you're a nerd fag, and yes,
You're-
we are gonna say the word fag on this
Sorry, that's
because
only
we
because they
hate
said
it.
already. We can't.
We hate it. We hate
He
that
said
word.
it like
it's
6
terrible.
times,
But
I
he says
think.
it like a million times because it's
This is-
2006,
oh.
and Wes Craven wrote this movie probably in like 1985, and
Milo
then
the-
was like, oh, let's pull it out of the
What's
vault.
Milo's character's name, though, guys?
Is he Billy?
No, he wasn't. He
Bo.
wasn't.
He's
Yeah,
Bo.
Bo.
Okay,
Bo.
so
Bro.
was
He's the
he?
boyfriend.
Listen,
Bo.
no, but was he her boyfriend or was he her brother?
No, he's a boyfriend.
Are
I
you
don't
sure?
know.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
What?
Because he says so.
But she
When
calls
did she
him
say
like
that?
a bro at one
In
point
the
or something.
movie.
Yeah, and like for most of the movie, they're just like hanging out together, but
That's
not
the point,
really.
though, because he's a girl. He just likes
Right.
for a man.
So,
you know,
but what I love is that
She was beard.
through the whole movie until the end, when we get this crazy change of things, she like is like basically
Third act.
like, my boyfriend is a complete asshole,
Third act.
but I'm obviously gonna stay with him and just let him
Of
treat this
course, yeah.
other guy who I
Yeah.
like shit.
But
like,
also when
complete
Jimmy
shit.
like says stuff, she goes, "Good one, Jimmy." It's like,
Well, this is very aughts. This is
Yeah.
very aughts, like, where it's like, even though he's definitely abusive to
She's
children,
like
I'm okay with
she's
it.
like the Lily Potter
But
of the movie.
what is
you know?
Jimmy?
She's like,
What is Jimmy to Bo? What's the exact
So you're
phrasing?
saying that Jimmy is Snape in this?
No, what is Jimmy to Bo?
Yeah, Jimmy is Snape.
Jimmy
Snape.
says what he is to him in the first part after he calls him the
A geek on his way to Fag Town.
He says the dodgeball crotch target.
Yeah, that's what Crush Target. Yeah, that's the first
Who
one.
wrote this?
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven
Wes Craven.
wrote
And
this.
then they said geek on his way to Fagtown. I was like,
Yeah.
oh god. I was like,
I
okay.
would love to go to Fagtown. I'm just putting that
Right?
out there.
It'd be fabulous.
When people
Yeah.
talk about the homophobic like push to make everyone gay, I'm like, yeah, let's all be
And
gay.
Chris and the Overlords, yeah. Like,
Please, let's all be gay.
Like me and Jimmy were legitimately talking about how hot Joshua Jackson is in this movie, and we're like, yeah,
Yeah,
like sure.
please,
He's like, I'm so
Please.
cool. I'm the coolest guy in the world.
Please.
I'm always
And
so
he is
cool.
in this movie. You're like, okay.
good.
Fully
We're-
cool.
Okay, no, but we're gonna talk about the sexiest.
Also, I
lady
never,
in
I
this.
never figured out Joshua Jackson's character name. I just kept calling him JJ, and
He's
like
Jake.
this whole thing.
Casey,
Jake.
right?
Yeah,
Casey?
Jake. Yeah,
Jake.
it's like,
Yeah. I
think
never
that
watched
was-
an episode of that show. I never watched any of
I
that.
Same
type
here.
Casey like
Same
9
here.
times before I take Jake over.
Same here.
So you guys, Christina Ricci is the star of this movie.
Five
Yes. By the way,
She is.
Christina Ricci.
All 5 of her heads are in this.
Besides Christina Ricci, like after the Addams Family, which is the thing she's the most famous and amazing
By the
for.
way, shouldn't she
So-
be playing Morticia?
So
at this
listen,
point, right?
so she, oh my
Yeah,
God,
something
she
like
should,
that. Right?
100% she
Right?
should. Her
Right?
face, because
Right?
Christina
Right?
Ricci has
Right?
gorgeous,
Right?
delicate features, and her face just, her head just grew
She pointed-
around them.
Yeah.
She pointed out that her eyes were
Her
in
eyes
the,
are
in the
literally
middle of her head.
halfway between
Like,
her forehead
And
and the
I've
rest of
never
her
really
face.
noticed before.
But I
until
love
now.
her. I'm not like I love
it's
her,
the
but
silver ratio, not the
it's
golden
like-
one. The silver
it
ratio.
throws me off every time I look at her. So, and I've always, Penelope actually came out before this.
Someone should superimpose.
And-
One of our fans superimposed her like her bottom half of her face on the top
On
half,
top,
and just
yeah.
like have a double face.
Right.
It's
So, but Penelope,
Leave it out, it's okay.
Penelope
Wow.
came out before this, and Penelope, she has a pig nose, and I actually think that's her most beautiful movie is Penelope, because her nose actually like fits the size of her head, and it like it looks really
Jimmy,
good.
by the way, mentioned this, and I was like,
Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I do love Sleepy Hollow.
yeah.
And she's a good-looking blonde. Most really dark
She looks
women
great as-
can't pull off blonde, but she, you know why? Because she's so pale.
She was like,
a
oh,
ghost.
doesn't she like have a pig nose or something?
She's,
Like, I
yeah,
have no clue
she
what
looks
you're
like a
talking
ghost.
about.
Then actually, you're right, Kevin. But I love Addams
Whoa.
Family. Like Addams Family Values is one of my favorite movies.
So
of all
guys,
time.
what's this club?
I could just talk about
What's this
Christina
cool
Ricci.
club
Tinsel.
that Jake's
Tinsel.
making?
Tinsel.
Tinsel Hollywood.
It's like they're having like a monster themed party. Like a
No,
movie
but the thing
monster
is,
theme.
later we find out it's Hollywood themed.
Yeah, there's
But you
different
only
rooms.
see the monster stuff at the
We'll
beginning.
talk about the
so you're
rooms
thinking
later.
it's horror
Talk
films.
about the rooms later, yeah.
It changes as the.
Yeah, you
as
see
it goes
Lon
on.
Chaney's cane.
Yeah.
That's at one point. You see
Lon Chaney's silver.
Wait,
coin.
but before the cane, which was
Okay.
donated
Oh,
by
by the
the
way,
Chaney estate.
By the way, fucking Chekhov's gun. You're like, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great.
She even said it
So-
to me. She's like, "You're gonna see this again." I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
Great,
but you guys,
wow.
even before that, he mentions the Iron Maiden also in Sleepy
doesn't
Hollow.
say-
He's like,
yeah.
Iron Maidens could be
No,
fun.
he doesn't say about Iron Maiden. He's like, "This could be fun." He's pointing at the Iron Maiden. I'm like, "No, the Iron Maiden is
There's
not
giant
fucking
spikes
fun."
in that
For the
thing.
record, Iron Maiden never. There's no recorded use of the Iron Maiden
No.
in the middle.
And yeah,
Yeah, none.
this was
Zero.
dumb,
Someone
and
just
also
said
just dumb. I was like, "What the? Okay."
So we get some
You know,
foreshadowing.
it was scary. Wes Craven's writing scary stuff to scare people. Oh, it's so scary.
Well, no, but at the same time, you could tell that it was satire on his films from the 80s. Like, it was definitely a
Oh.
satire of 80s
No,
films.
I don't know if it's satire as much as he can't write.
It didn't pull through very well. No, it was
It
not
just felt like he was just
that
like,
or-
oh, this worked in the
that,
80s.
or he literally pulled this, like, from his vault. This was a movie he wanted to make back in 1984, and they never did.
Yes, because
and
there's
they
a lot
tried
of
to update
cell phone
it.
reception not
Do you
working.
think he
You're like,
wanted
You're
lunch?
in Hollywood. The cell phone reception works. You think-
Also, when they showed the city lights multiple times, the lights were in the shape of a pentagram.
Do you think he wanted
guys.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Just
in
in
this
case.
movie? By the way,
Yeah, probably, but he was dead, so he was dead.
like very
Probably,
dead. Yeah, very
Like
dead.
alcoholism.
I saw Lon
Um,
Chaney Jr. walking down the street. So,
So they're driving
Oh,
home.
good one.
This is what was her name?
Ellie.
Christina
Ellie.
Ricci. Ellie, right?
Yeah.
Ellie and Jimmy
Ellie
are
and
driving
Jimmy.
home with their
I
dog
wrote down her
Zipper, with their golden retriever Zipper.
Zipper.
Zipper the
That's
dog.
a dog's
Oh,
name.
by
And
the-
they're driving
and there's-
home like in her
Before
Toyota.
this though, there's like a full makeout scene with Ellie and Jake, and I'm like,
Like so much kissing.
you're like what? And like wet mouth.
By the
What
way,
is
they
this?
had a completely zero chemistry in this movie.
Zero.
I think they had like one
Nope,
chemistry.
0.
1% chemistry.
0.
0.5.
I think
Settle
mo-
on 0.5.
I think mostly because I was like, I want to make out with Joshua Jackson. so,
Joshua
like,
Jackson.
It's so
I
funny.
think I know why he hasn't been in a lot of movies because, like, he doesn't.
Because he
play
doesn't-
character.
No, don't you fucking dare.
Listen, I
No.
Don't you
Listen.
fucking
I
dare
love
Listen.
Fringe.
insult
Okay,
him.
come on.
And you love the skulls. And
The
you
skulls,
love
man.
the
The
skulls.
We'll watch that
Well,
soon.
that's- we gotta watch
Is
this.
that your pick? It's your pick next. Dude.
Mighty Ducks, exactly. He's in that too.
Mighty Ducks.
But also, no
for,
fucking chemistry.
for not for him whatsoever.
What's the worst thing you've ever done? Why don't
Yeah.
we do the skulls right now instead?
Oh my
We all
God.
know.
That's next
We all
week.
know.
Okay?
We all
Next
know.
Oh my
week.
See
God.
the skulls.
No, but you're right.
That's your pick.
He
okay?
always has the same voice and
Yeah.
the same
He
delivery
never-
in every movie.
Same thing.
And you
Every
guys,
time.
Do you
at
want to
least-
hear him do like a German accent?
no. Listen,
Fucking no.
even Keanu Reeves can do two different
Yeah,
characters.
you know.
Two
Name
different
another
characters.
character he did.
Yeah, he does like his teenage
Boathouse.
Keanu Reeves.
Boathouse.
I'm Keanu Reeves. You
He's
know,
the same character.
you
Was-
gotta get a
he's-
license
he's
to
like,
get
I'm
to drive a
Ted
car,
Theodore
and you
Logan.
gotta get a
It's a
license to
boathouse.
this.
That
You're
movie-
Let any old asshole be a dad.
That movie with
That's
Alyssa
Keanu
Milano.
Reeves.
What was that
Is
movie
this
you
an
watched?
older version of the character?
What was that movie you watched with Alyssa Milano?
No, but then there's like
Alyssa Milano.
the day the Earth stood still, Keanu Reeves, where he's just like,
What was that Brandon Watch we did with Alyssa
Yeah,
Milano?
much worse though. Who's the boss?
No, was it where they like were?
There's a path.
They met at a
to
wedding or
take
something, and they were a
and
couple.
that
Oh
was
my
not Alyssa
God.
Milano.
That was
That
Alyssa
was
Milano.
Free Winona Ryder.
Yes.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
The
Wow.
only Alyssa Milano I know is when they make fun of her on Family Guy, and she turns back to her lawyer, and he's like, "I'm suing, I'm suing."
Guys are so off the rails right now.
We are, but
And-
also,
and the best
you know
way.
what Alyssa Milano
best
brings
way.
us back to?
Guardians
Harvey
of the Galaxy.
Weinstein.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, Dave Milano. Okay, so you guys, they're on the
And
road.
you should.
Let's bring it back. Jimmy and Ellie and Zipper are on the road. They're
Zipper.
driving on the road, right?
Zipper.
And all of a sudden,
On
this
the road.
animal jumps in
Which
front of the car.
Fully like
Well,
a
he
giant.
jumps in
Yeah.
front of the car. He jumps on the car.
Yeah, he
on
jumps
the
on-
windshield.
Smash the
Yeah,
windshield.
and so she swerves and hits randomly
Yeah,
Shannon
Shannon
Elizabeth's
Elizabeth.
character.
But who, by the way, the car flips 15
50
times, and she's like,
million times.
I think she might be hurt.
No, I know.
What?
She's fucking dead.
Fucking what?
She's fucking dead.
It fell through a paper mache
Yeah.
guardrail as well.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck?
But my favorite part about the scene is she's rolling and rolling, and they have her screams even louder than the sound of like the crash. She's just like,
Yeah.
and her screams are
And we're
so
like-
weak. They're like, ah.
Yeah, and we're like, and they're super loud, and like this is like we were gonna turn it down for a second,
no.
and then they whisper the next scene, we're like, fucking
I know.
turn it back up,
It's
I
just
guess.
like-
So the guardrails are made to stop that from happening. That's the whole point of a guardrail.
Yeah.
And it failed horribly.
You know who was okay in the car crash though? The dog, and that's all I really
Also,
care
Alyssa
about.
Milano, she
Yeah.
was fine.
Yeah,
Alyssa
everyone
Milano
was fine.
Also fine.
Shannon
was
Elizabeth
fine.
was fine.
No, I
Joaquin Phoenix is
Joaquin
fine,
Phoenix
guys.
was
He's
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Guys, so he's trying to call 911, but it's having a hard time.
They're in. You
So
know
for
why? They're in the hills.
No, you know why? Because he screams out this. He's
AT&T.
I said it because I was doing a bit. I was doing a John Oliver bit.
Yeah.
I went AT&T, and he said it at the same time, and Jamie and I looked at each other like,
And he went, business daddy,
"This
baby.
is daddy."
And meanwhile, Christina Ricci like goes down this fucking cavern, and she's like,
With
"Oh,
no
hey," and she's like,
hesitation.
"Yeah, I'm gonna help you."
Yeah.
And so Shannon Elizabeth, luckily, her legs are just stuck in like the
dash.
in the
The dash is fucked
dashboard.
up, yeah.
They're not broken or anything though.
Before they call the cops, she is down in this gorge with no hesitation at all, with no...
Also,
like-
looking pretty.
But
Like no
also
glass hit her.
He's mentioning that she's and their car is
She's
like,
completely
almost
fine.
Yeah.
Is it drivable?
Yeah.
But like she keeps like, "Oh, I hear a noise. I think something's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go get you." Like,
Yeah.
What?
No, also I love that Christina Ricci gets there and she's like, I can't get into the car. Like, let me try
My
to find
girl,
a like,
I'm
oh
such
my
a
God,
girl.
I'm
Oh.
such a lady. I'm just a little lady. So,
Jesse
Jesse Eisenberg comes down. The
Yeah.
dude comes down.
Also strong. Look at him.
Also brave.
Yeah, and he breaks
He's like, and also
Shannon Elizabeth
me.
out of the car.
That's right.
What does Ellie say to Jimmy as he's trying to get her out? Maybe you should hurry up.
Yeah, maybe you guys should hurry up.
No, because
Maybe
yeah,
you
Shannon
guys- maybe
Elizabeth's
you
like,
guys,
I can
like-
hear it. She's like, I hear something leaking. We
Like,
need
so
to
the
get out of
other
here.
guy is upside down and stuck under a dashboard.
Yeah. No, I
Fuck
don't.
what?
And the other guy has never
Wes Craven
done
wrote
this
this.
situation
Wes
before.
Craven wrote this, and no one edited it.
And was very,
It was just
like very high in quaaludes.
He wrote this at Coke. I think
Yeah.
it was Coke. Because
So uppers and downers, who knows?
Yeah.
So, but Shannon Elizabeth, they get her free, and she's sitting there, and she's sitting against the open, broken window, and you're just like, she's gonna get grabbed
Yeah.
by something. Like, you know it's coming. They're like, okay,
we
let's
already
get
saw
you
like
out.
we already saw like the wolf legs hit
They
the
mentioned
car.
it like 75 times as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. Just
So,
please go. Just
so
please
she
do
gets
this.
she gets pulled out of the car, and they kind of get like dragged with her because they grab her and
both of
pull
them,
her.
yeah.
like probably like 10 feet, and then somehow this werewolf like manages to bend down past her whole body and bite one and like scratch
Yeah.
the other.
And by the way,
What?
they're like okay with it until
Yeah.
they get out of the car. They're like, okay. Oh, boy.
They have no
What?
reaction
Like,
whatsoever.
No, yeah, I know.
Thrown by a beast. What
Like,
the
even if it was just
fuck
like a
is
wolf.
happening?
You have no
Yeah.
reaction at all to getting.
Like who?
Yeah.
Like who directed this? Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Ellie had no reaction at all.
And
Yeah.
like was shredded to the bone
Yeah.
on her
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just as was scratched in his chest.
Like he had a
his
little bit of
chest.
reaction.
Because
when
you
he, like,
guys,
kinda knocked off.
they immediately became werewolves, so it starts healing immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, answer. What?
Very dope. Let's
Yeah,
be
that's
werewolves.
right. That's right.
Also,
So
like,
you
why
guys,
not be werewolves
who's
in
the
this
police officer who comes to this call?
It was.
It was a
Roger.
young Nick
Yeah,
Offerman.
That's right. That's right. He's like,
So young.
He was like, so.
Like literally before any of us
You-
thought he was
you-
gonna be famous.
I think you thought I told you to bring me some bacon.
I
and
think
eggs.
Yeah.
it's Tammy too here.
I want all the bacon and eggs you have.
Once you go in the back, they get
Tammy
all.
1 is way worse than Tammy 2, you
Yeah,
guys.
it's true.
So,
It's true.
Also, Nick Offerman beard is frightening.
but yeah, no, he is. He's weird. Also, so
I
he's
wanna
lost
see
a lot of weight recently.
Yeah, I don't want to see
and
that
it
either.
is creepy.
Yeah.
It is super creepy.
Like gain your
It's
weight
like-
back, please. Sir.
And he wasn't big to
Get
begin
fat
with, so
again.
it's like, ooh.
Fatty.
Just be
he does,
thick. Just
yeah.
be thick. It's
He
fine.
does a lot of
Teen
yoga
fat.
and veganism with Megan Mullally because their sex life
Hey,
is.
we do yoga too. And we
their
have
sex
live.
life is.
And your sex life is.
There you go. See?
So yeah, exactly. So poor Zipper, because Zipper immediately is like, you guys
Fucking Zipper,
are,
guys.
there's something
Fucking
wrong
Zipper.
here.
Okay, Zipper's
Like,
very scared.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are.
Well,
you
because
feel different.
that's what
Like,
They're the packing
Yeah,
in
yeah.
their office.
So then he bites Jesse Eisenberg's character, and Jesse Eisenberg takes his finger and puts
Edward-
it,
yeah.
And this is not the only time someone does this.
puts it
I
in
know.
his goddamn
People
mouth.
like sucking on blood.
So you
He puts
guys,
it in his
No
mouth.
fucking
you guys, so
reason.
they get home. They maybe got medical treatment. We're not even sure that they got medical
Yeah, no,
treatment.
it was
Yeah.
like there was like implied medical treatment because he had the poultice on his little chest.
Yeah, and she was like wrapped on her
later,
hand. So like
later
the
though.
EMTs or something. So they get home and they like lock the door and she shuts the window and she's like, things just feel weird. I feel weird. And so he's like, guess what? I'm gonna do what everyone used to do back in the day. I'm gonna look this up on the internet. And also I love comic books, you guys.
Best website ever.
Yeah.
This was like a GeoCities website.
Yeah.
Oh, like fucking Angel Fire. I was like, this is Angel
Like it took
Fire.
like 4 seconds to load up, and you're like, shit. Man.
I
It's
love.
like a
I
gif
love
of like a.
when
It's very
you still
nostalgic.
find like sites like that where it's like white writing on a green background.
Like
and
they
you're
had
like, oh.
like some spooky meaties playing in the background.
They'd have like the Candyman theme in the back. You're like, ooh.
This was 100% my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is-
no, I told Jerry, I was like, I loved it. I
It
fucking
was very
loved it.
nostalgic for me. I felt it was very good.
So
during this part.
stupid,
Yeah.
but also so relevant because
Yeah.
like the internet is still this dumb.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
he wasn't
high
on his
resolution.
phone. He had to go onto his
Yep.
computer
On like a big
and type
big
it in.
fucking
It was an
CTR
Apple.
monitor.
Did you
like
see
a
it? It was,
giant
yeah.
monitor,
It was
like, just
ridiculous.
fucking
It was an
Yes, the Apple, or the iMac.
Yeah, the iMac,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy was like
iMac.
super. So this is an iMac. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. This is
Because
like-
IMAX were big when we were in middle school. That was a thing.
But IMAX were not that big in 2006, so I was like,
Well, I bet they were like aged
Craven
it.
again.
Yeah. It was,
Again, Wes Craven.
It was
like,
Wes
he had a
wrote this.
shitty computer in 2006.
Wes Craven
so
was
I'm saying.
just getting the iMac.
So you
most likely.
guys,
He was like, oh, this is weird.
Ellie has like a nightmare where she's like seeing all this stuff and
Well,
then
before that, she clicks all the goddamn locks on. Like,
Yeah.
Lock,
It was
lock
just
the
annoying
window,
because
lock
then
everything.
they just are open and
It was
like a second later and you're like,
It was like a
okay.
5-minute lock scene, and then like they're just open.
Yeah,
So she
like,
gets
okay.
downstairs, and I love all the symbolism in this movie because she like gets down to the kitchen and like the cuckoo clock goes off and
Yeah.
it's like Little Red Riding Hood. It's like
And
ooh,
a world, I like
ooh,
okay,
ooh. Yeah, but you guys, in the morning she wakes up and she's like in bed and she's like, oh, this didn't happen. But
cool.
guess where?
Okay,
No.
okay, so we gotta
What
talk about
happened?
one other
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
in this fucking scene. She's wearing a fucking white silk robe.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You just got gored by a
Yeah,
wolf
yeah.
and you're wearing a white silk robe? Are you fucking kidding
That's
me?
how you know it was a dream.
I
That's
was
how you
so
know it was a dream.
pissed
But then
about
wasn't-
this.
But then Jake showed up too.
I'm not even joking.
Sure.
I was legitimately upset. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
You're gonna wear your best fucking robe and
Yeah.
you're bleeding possibly out
Yeah.
of your goddamn arm?
Maybe it's
Also,
not the best robe.
I
But
love
also,
that
like,
they,
I mean, she looks
like
super
she's
cute, obviously,
supposed
but
to
still,
be in
like,
her
what the fuck?
20s and they make her seem like this old lady.
This is
She's
what I
like,
said a Harvey Weinstein thing. It was like,
Oh, yeah.
white silk robe.
Yeah, was she like 23 or
yeah,
something?
she was
maybe? Like,
supposed to be
yeah,
young,
yeah.
but they
But
live
also-
in the parents' house because the parents
But
are
also,
dead.
Jake shows up at the end of this
But they're because
dream.
Dream.
their parents are dead guys.
And
Yeah.
Jake's like,
They've been through some
Jake's like,
shit.
I have to say some stuff to you.
He's
And
like,
she's
I care
Well,
about
because
you.
in the scene before this, he said, "I need some space."
Yeah.
The skulls, man.
He
The
needs,
skulls. And you're like,
he
okay.
needs, he needs some days off. He
Yeah.
need because just to rest. And you're like, where?
Which, by the way, you also like
Yeah.
this scene. This like guy sucks.
Yeah.
But then like she bites him, and then
Oh yeah, they start
Don't
making out,
say-
and then she gets like real aggressive, like.
I mean, Jamie's done that to me, so I was totally like, okay, this is it. They just filmed Jamie and I's life, and this happened.
yeah, I mean,
Like painfully, where you're like, oh, good.
yeah, I mean that's never happened to me. So I
Jamie's
get it.
actually Jamie's never gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Because I'm just.
So, but you guys, in the morning, she wakes up in bed, kind of like all
Yep.
disheveled, but she's in bed. But guess where Jimmy is?
Ooh.
Jimmy's
He's
he's naked in the neighborhood.
It's a little Jesse Eisenberg stunt double
Some
spot.
Jesse Eisenberg
Very
butt, yeah.
stunt
Not,
double.
no, it was
Very
not.
stunt double.
It was not his backside. No,
it's like
I
Dolph
agree.
Lundgren as
Yeah.
a stunt double.
I
Like,
was
who the
looking.
fuck is this
I was
guy?
hoping in this movie I'd see Jesse Eisenberg's ass, and I didn't get to see.
You
it.
didn't.
Yeah, no,
You didn't
it's
get to see
a
it.
very
Yeah.
Also,
obvious stunt
just
double.
like some fat neighbor dude like mowing his lawn or something. He's like,
But what
Then
I
he's like,
love-
"Ooh, it's so
What I
scandalous."
love is he runs over to his house and then, without thinking, just climbs up the side of his house. Like, as a human being,
For-
you're not like, let me jump up on the side
For
of
the
my house.
record, Jamie did not believe because that's a stunt double. She's like, no, it's not. And then she saw him jump. She's like, oh, I guess it's a stunt double.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg would fucking do that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, maybe
Come
you
on.
could.
This was like
Fair.
the doughiest face Jesse
Like, come
Eisenberg
on.
too.
Come
Yeah,
on,
he's
man.
just like, I'm the poor man's
Like, that's
Michael
not
Cera.
his body.
This
That's-
is literally why I was hired because I'm kind of like Michael Cera, but I'm not Michael Cera. You know, that's
That's-
me.
I got-
He made his
upset
career
about
off
that.
this movie. Okay.
He did.
Only if there's one thing I know is naked dudes' bodies, and that's not
Yeah.
naked Jesse Eisenberg.
So what I love is Jimmy's character immediately is like, we're werewolves. He's
Yeah.
just like, he's like trying to convince his sister.
And she's like, no, we're
that
not.
they're
Look,
werewolves.
I have this this frame from Tiffany's.
Yeah, and it's silver and it doesn't burn me. See, so it's okay. Also, she says the best line
That did not
here.
look silver at all. But
She
that's
says
like,
the best
no.
line here. She's shooting him down and she goes, "Everybody's cursed, Jimmy. It's called life."
I think I read that too, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Thanks, Ellie. Thanks. So Ellie goes to work and
Finally.
Where does she
Finally.
work though?
The Late Show
With Greg Kilgore.
back
That's
in 2006.
We also get
Nostalgia.
Michael Rosenbaum in
Nostalgia.
there.
Yeah. So
With hair.
it's funny because
Weird.
there was an establishing shot with him, and for a split second, I'm like, "Is that Paul
Yeah, she's
Rudd?"
like, she goes, "Is that Paul
And
Rudd?"
I was like, "Oh no, it's Michael Rosenbaum," which I'm okay with because I love him.
Paul Rudd.
But also, how many Lex Luthors are there in this movie?
Dude, I literally wrote down Lex Luthor kind of second Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Right?
I was hoping for Kevin Spacey to be the third one, especially in a Harvey Weinstein movie.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Oh,
it would
man.
make sense. It would make sense though, right?
I'm like,
And what about the guy from Lois and Clark? He's like, Superman. How are you doing, Superman?
Who is the guy from Lois and Clark?
I don't remember his
Oh,
guy.
You know-
the dude who played Lex
That's right.
Luthor's dad.
That's right. No, not Lionel. Because
Who was Lex Luthor?
Lionel is from Smallville. The guy he talked like the Superman.
And Lois and
He
Clark.
said Superman. Yeah, Superman.
The New
I don't
Adventures.
Look it up.
remember
Look it
who
up.
he
Okay,
looks
you'll-
like.
You'll know. You'll show you. But yeah, so Michael
I literally
Rosenbaum.
typed this in.
Michael Rosenbaum
Come
here,
on.
by the way, like his wig is fully Bon Jovi, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
like
and it is totally a wig too. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a fucking wig.
you're like
Like
just a Bon
100%.
Jovi wig.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool.
There he is.
Because he was
His
definitely
name's
molded.
Alex.
Oh yeah, that guy.
By the way, this is
Oh,
also
I remember him.
this is
Okay.
also
Oh,
this
man.
Superman.
I forgot
Superman.
this guy.
That's
I
right.
forgot.
It's
By
on
the way,
HBO.
If you guys want to borrow those, we still have the DVDs. We haven't got
Somebody
rid of
say-
them.
No, but it's on
It's
HBO.
White
We
Teen
can just
King.
watch it straight.
Oh,
What if John
Cryer?
Cryer
That can
was
be
in
our
this
next
movie, by the way?
TV show. Oh,
What if John?
I think he was in the background somewhere. He played
No, you guys. Who was our celebrity in this
He played
movie?
the creature from the back.
We had two of
Scott
them.
fucking Baio.
Why
What?
wasn't he or Greg Kilborn like the hero
But
of this
also,
movie?
Scott Baio was for a second the hero, but he's also fucking dunked on like
Yeah.
7
Yeah,
times
yeah.
before this.
They just
I was like, who
make
signed
fun
him
of
up for
him.
this? Did he
The
not get in
He
trouble with
was
the Weinstein?
completely fine
movie.
with getting dunked on.
Was
The
he in trouble with the
whole
Weinstein
movie.
in some way where they're like, you gotta just get bagged on for
Like
like fucking
he was
an hour?
third on the Late Show with Craig Kilborn.
Yeah.
Carrot Top.
Third!
No, who
He
was
was
before Carrot Top? I'm trying to
third.
remember.
Who
It was
gives
someone
a shit?
I know.
Carrot Top
Carrot.
and
Carrot Top was
Scott
going
Baio.
Baio.
on, so they bumped Scott
If
Baio.
Carrot Top bumps you, you are the
No,
lowest
and
of
the
the low.
joke
What
they
the
kept
fuck?
making was don't talk about his TV, just talk about his movies. But no one knows who his movies are. We only know him from TV.
And like just getting
literally.
dunked on, I was like, what? This feels awkward.
No, you guys, Scott Baio was one of those people that if we mentioned to anyone like 20 and younger, they would not know who Scott Baio was.
And
like,
you know what?
100%.
That's okay because he's a piece of
Yeah,
shit that is
exactly.
a big Trump supporter.
No, he's a
Fuck
garbage
that
person.
guy.
Yeah.
But
So,
still.
you guys, but who else do we get in this? Judy fucking Greer.
Yeah, Judy
I
Greer.
love Judy
What's
Greer.
up with this
Treasure.
movie, by the way?
I love
She's
her.
America's
Let's stop for a
fucking-
second. But
She is.
Guess how old Judy Greer is in this movie? You never know. She looks the fucking same. She always
23?
looks the fucking same.
Yeah.
But also, guys, this movie is weird.
No,
There's
oh,
so
really?
many stars.
Many
So many
stars
stars.
in
Tell
this
me,
movie.
give me 5 instances of weirdness
Yeah.
in this movie.
But I'm just saying, like this, there's so many stars in this movie. Like
Yeah.
people that are like, people that you pop when you see them, and you're like, oh, they're giving nothing.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Rosenbaum. Okay. So
He's
you
in
guys,
this movie as well.
Ellie smells something really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned
She
this.
smells something
Yeah,
really
she's
good.
like-
And like the added sniffing sounds are ridiculous. She's
I
like
like the body acting that
Yeah.
Christina Ricci
Yeah.
is doing. It
The
was-
little like some head
Christina Ricci, whose head is this big and whose body is this small, and she's just like,
and like going to and like people looking at her weird like, oh,
Yeah.
she's sniffing things.
you guys,
oh.
but what's she smelling? It's not food someone's making. It's someone's
Someone's on their
bloody
period.
nose.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been better. That would.
Jerry must have right away. I was like, I love you
Yeah.
so fucking much.
What if someone's on a period? She probably
That's
kill
what-
them.
No,
She
it
just
would've been
eat
better.
their fucking
Yeah.
head,
Yeah, yeah.
their whole body.
There's actually a TV show about werewolves where a woman gets like, because it's her period.
I mean,
and
it
the
attracts
werewolf
bears.
comes
Why
out
not
and, like,
werewolves? If it attracts bears, why not werewolves?
Yeah. So then we go back to the high school because
And get
Jesse
more gay
Eisenberg.
jokes.
Jesse Eisenberg
Yeah,
is definitely
more
a high
gay
school
jokes.
student in this.
More,
you guys.
that's-
Yeah.
Gay jokes!
I wrote gay
Good
jokes.
jokes!
Yeah. He also tells him he's like drinking the gay juice, Jimmy,
calls
the
him-
weak juice.
He calls him a homo stain.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm like,
almost
what
saying.
the fuck, dude?
Because
Like,
you
you're
know,
the worst.
because the girlfriend, I don't even remember what her
Because he's
name
talking to
is.
the girlfriend, yeah.
The girlfriend is like, I'm trying. Do you have change? It's not accepting my $5 bill or something. And he's like, oh yeah, I have change.
Because I'm cool and we're
I'm so-
like,
I'm-
Cool and werewolfy
I don't
now.
drink
We're like
geek
Nietzsche.
By the way,
juice.
his hair straightens and that makes it more
Yeah, I know.
werewolfy.
No, he gets a natural sexual allure,
Yeah,
which we find out later in the movie because
so
werewolves
obviously
did that.
I'm already
obviously.
part werewolf,
Yeah,
guys. You know what I'm saying?
but also homo stain.
yeah,
Homo stand. Also, we're having there's like a
What?
furry party going on in that scene.
yeah.
Like a furry party. A
It's,
full
no, they're doing like
furry.
some kind of
werewolves
werewolf
dressed as
private
like
party.
furries.
Also, Jake comes up to Ellie and goes, I want to talk to you in private, then walks 3 feet.
Yeah, no.
And starts talking to her.
With like a bunch of people just standing there.
I'm like,
So he's talking to her, but
What?
you guys, Maya comes up because it turns out the girl who died that we
Yeah,
never
no
even really knew her name. Her
superstar.
name's Becky, and
I didn't know that
Becky,
until then.
and
Which, by the way, Becky thinks that Jen is dead in the first scene. She's like, oh, where'd Jen go? And then nothing comes of that. Like,
And then
she's
Maya
left-
thinks that Becky's
Maya-
alive.
Maya
Yeah.
just ghosted her. Like,
Yeah.
like Jen just ghosted Becky,
Yeah.
and then Becky dies.
Maya
again.
thinks Becky is alive still.
Yeah.
At this point.
no, she's
What
like,
the fuck is
she's
happening?
like, she comes up to Jake's character and she's like, why haven't you talked to Becky? Becky wants to know where you are. Also,
Yeah.
she's supposed to be a teenage girl or something. Why is she
No.
at this party?
Yeah, none of
Like,
this
I
makes
don't
sense.
understand
Also,
what's going
none of-
on here.
nobody-
I just, who was this movie written
Nobody
for?
in this movie looks like teens.
No. No, and the description of the movie actually says a bunch of teen werewolves living in LA. I'm
Nope.
like, no, none of them.
Nope.
None of
Nope.
them.
Yeah, because, okay, even if Jesse Eisenberg, theoretically, we're saying he's a teen, Christina Ricci's character was an established person that was working
In
in
her
place.
20s.
There's
yeah.
no way she was
She's
a teen.
not
But
a
also,
teen, yeah.
like, a professional, but she's supposed to be 23. I'm like, no.
Well, they never
Yeah.
said her
How
age,
that
but
works.
you
Yeah.
have to guess she's at
Didn't
least out of
She
college.
graduated, I guess, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Well, she's taking care of him because the parents are dead, right?
I wrote what the fuck at this point. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is
No,
going
I
on
do
with
love
this
that she's like, you ghosted Becky, and it's like, you're Becky's like best friend. She
movie?
died
And she's dead.
last night.
can we,
you
like,
don't know
on
she's
the
dead
news
yet?
dead.
Can we admit that all of Jake's dialogue is soul sucking? It's just like it just is so like if he's a werewolf, he's taking away my soul.
Well, like I said, that's why I
Somehow.
can't like
He's
Joshua
also
Jackson.
Oh.
an emotional vampire.
it's like
You're just
lifetime.
ugh.
It's like lifetime dread.
I
It's just
can't like
okay.
Joshua Jackson's movie because the dialogue is terrible.
I mean, I can
So
like him
bad.
because he's gorgeous, but
like
yes.
maybe he's giving his
Sure.
best at this. Maybe
Sure.
let's just say he's giving his
No,
best.
that's the thing. He's
the
doing
dialogue is shit.
he's doing a fine job. Wes Craven has
It's
written
garbage.
nothing for this character.
like garbage.
But guys, Scott Baio, I wrote Scott Baio's the real villain just because he's
Yeah.
Scott Baio. But it's not true. He's not the real villain. He's
Yeah.
just getting dunked on.
So, I
His
do
authority
love-
and soul.
I do
somehow.
love when she's talking to him and supposedly her like unnatural sexual allure like kicks in, and then he hits on her,
Yeah.
and she turns him
In,
down,
like,
which
the
I'm
most
glad she
lame
like turns
way.
him down. But also, it's like her sexual allure kicks in, and he's like, "Hey, baby," and then she's like, "Ooh, gross."
I was like,
I said no to Harvey
can
Weinstein.
she kill Scott Baio?
Yeah,
She
exactly.
kills Scott Baio.
But also, she has
I
giant
put hitting on
eyes.
Chachi, that's
she
what I
has
Well,
giant.
she's so nice
They're
anyway.
like the
Huge
two
eyes.
lanterns. I put hitting on Chachi for this part. That's why.
But she's, she's like going through the change, you guys. She's like feeling things.
She also just seems to be.
What's happening?
But
Maybe getting some
like
dots on her
okay,
hand.
okay.
Maybe
If you were changed into a different creature,
Yeah.
like
Would
you'd
you
feel a
feel
little
sexier?
trepidation, maybe.
Oh no, I'd lean right into that.
No, but
Turn me into a fucking
But
mushroom.
like, for
or
a minute,
tree or
you'd
What
be
if
something.
like weird chicken though? Like
but
weird-
for a minute. But let's just say for a minute, like you look at your hand, there's a fucking something dots all over your hand. You'd be like,
Oh, I'd be like, oh, that's
she
cool.
she never is worried about any of this.
Well, no, cause hers.
Not at all.
No,
guys,
'cause-
she grabbed the picture frame and didn't.
no,
burn
you
it.
guys, because this hand was wrapped up, so she doesn't even see her dots until later,
Okay,
because it was like
but
wrapped
for the
up in
record, though,
a.
her hand was not wrapped up. It was just her arm.
Yeah, it was arm. It was a
No,
wrist. No.
multiple times.
It was not. It was a wrist.
Okay.
Well, that's what was annoying.
I remember
though,
this part.
Like they would just wrap her
I
hand
think
up
it
on
was
TV.
not continuity.
Yeah, that's the
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
But
no.
also, like, she never is worried about this. Like you could be a vampire or a werewolf, and she's like, okay, and she just keeps doing her thing.
No, she just doesn't believe it,
Yeah.
basically. So,
Even though she
Also-
sees old
Thomas
signs
Cena.
for it.
The dubbing in this movie is terrible. Can we just say, like, it's so incredibly bad.
Guys, so what happens though? We're in
The ghetto
the
superstar.
Ghetto Superstar's in the
Maya.
parking lot,
That is
Maya,
what
yeah.
you
and
are.
there's the werewolves in the parking lot,
With her.
in the garage.
Sure.
right?
More reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
But also-
is it like the dumbest werewolf though?
Also,
right?
Jen lasts the longest. She's pretty, like, she lasts
Until
for
she
a
gets
while.
dumb.
Yeah.
Till she
Well,
gets real
But
dumb.
do you think that the wolf ended Maya's acting career?
yes.
Is
That
she-
was
is she
the
alive
one
still,
movie.
though? Is
She,
she, like,
okay,
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
look her up right now.
She
We're
got
gonna see what other
waitress?
movies she was
I
also in.
thought Aaliyah
Is she-
first. I started singing. The,
He said Aaliyah and started singing an Aaliyah song, and I'm like, it's
Give me that somebody.
No, I knew she was mine, but I started singing
What?
Aaliyah's song. But still wrong. I was wrong.
Aaliyah's in something
Also,
involved in
the
something
wolf
else
can't
right now.
smell her at all.
I think she played Mrs. Love.
Like
and Sweet
she
Pie,
just
so-
hides from the wolf,
She's like,
and the
yeah.
wolf cannot smell her
It's
at
good
all.
and it's bad. No, at all. At all. No,
At
you're
all.
right.
Well, I mean,
She's
she's under a
like
Humvee.
on
There's
another.
lots
Yeah,
of
she's
gas
on.
smells
The,
and
yeah,
things.
It
yeah, I
smells
guess.
like douchebags.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
probably
yeah.
smells like Dracarna
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's overloading my
Dracarna.
sensors.
She's also a ninja because she's like hanging on the thing, like she's
But
standing
also,
on
a
the...
werewolf with full claw hands disarms a fucking alarm in a car, and also knows where to
Well,
find
first the
alarm?
wolf is like playing like a Freddy Krueger 80s show
What?
with the nails dragging
Which
along
is
the
Wes
car.
Craven. Well, I mean, Wes Craven. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
And then like it hears the alarm and it goes in the alarm, finds out where the alarm is, pulls the alarm out.
And that's fine. That's like a cool
This
thing.
is we don't know this yet, but it is a character that we already know, and you're like, how would that person know that later? You're like, that doesn't make sense.
Maya was also in Chicago.
What?
Don't
She was
remember that.
on a season of Dancing with the Stars.
Don't
But
remember
you
that.
guys,
I didn't watch it.
she was also in
Rescue me.
Dangerous Minds. Like when she was, I'm guessing, like a teenager. I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie. 'cause
You know
she
what?
was
Good
young.
for her.
Good for her. But yeah, she was in nothing after Curse.
Hey.
This was it.
Hey, you know
This
what?
was
At
it.
least R. Kelly didn't get you, okay?
No, just Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that's probably why she quit acting.
Okay, let's move forward. So,
So she gets in the
murdered.
elevator, is trapped,
Yeah.
and like the world's trying
This
to
is
get
what
in.
I love. So
Foley
she
cannot get in.
No, yeah. The werewolf supposedly can't get in. But then she looks out, sees that the door shuts, and instead
he's
of
gone, I
going
guess.
out, no, she should have gone out that way.
Yeah.
Instead, she tries to
Fully.
go up on the next floor.
And opens the elevator for the
Clearly
werewolf.
where the werewolf went to, like you dumbass.
It's stairs that go up.
So anyway, Maya dies.
Guys, then we get flesh tearing, bone crunching. That's what it said on the on
Yeah.
the closed caption.
Yeah, the closed captions were pretty good.
bone
So you guys,
crunching.
it's another like night scene because it's nighttime and they're having like weird like dreams
Jesse
again.
Eisenberg's.
Yeah, and
This
like
is where we hear about the unnatural sexual allure.
and
by
all
way.
the dogs of the neighborhood
Which, by the way,
are
Jesse
just
Eisenberg
sitting in their
fully
street.
doesn't need
Yeah,
that. He's so sexy
so
already.
sexy.
When you
like,
think
so
about
sexy.
Jesse Eisenberg, you think about unnatural sexual
all
allure.
the time.
If you needed to name the podcast, it would be that, but it's not. It's not.
So, but all the dogs of the neighborhood, like all of them, are like sitting in the road. I was like, what are people doing with their dogs?
What's
like,
the mark called, by the way?
Yeah, the mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast. Like, good lord.
Well, that's actually
Uh,
that's
what do
from
you mean?
So guys,
that's
Yeah.
from
but we still.
The
the
Bible?
werewolf.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
from
666,
the,
like-
yeah.
But also, how does he get the dogs to stop barking at him?
He howls at them.
Howls.
Yeah, he howls at them. Right.
He howls at them.
Right.
Sure.
So, what I love is he sees
Where's
the
the neighbor
five.
now?
He sees the 5 dots, and guess what? Just to be safe, he has to take
Draws
and
them.
draw
By the
the
way,
star on
dumbest,
there.
This is the dumbest scene. In this
It's
movie,
so
it's all
bad.
dumb scenes.
It's
But I was like,
Yeah.
okay, thanks for the one person that didn't get that.
Mm.
Because he's also looking at the picture and looking at the dots like, huh?
So-
Woo!
You guys, the next
What if
scene
he
is-
drew like a trapezoid?
Yeah, like he drew like King Shark in there. You're like, oh, okay, it's King
That's
Shark.
not, yeah, okay.
Ah.
I was like, oh. So, but you guys, the next scene is he's back in high school, and guess what? It's wrestling practice. So I literally wrote here, I was like, if he turned into a werewolf, and then it was like a whole teen wolf,
We skipped the scene
like,
because
oh.
first there's the fortune teller.
The
guy.
gypsy lady.
Portia
yeah.
de Rossi
Oh,
is
right.
back.
They have the gypsies for the act or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's
on
like,
Great
we're
Coco.
casting
Yeah,
gypsies for the
yeah,
show.
we
Oh, I can tell that
psychics.
you are in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Thanks, Portia de Rossi. for.
Like, do we need this to come back?
I only
Do we
wrote
need this
one
to
real
come back?
gypsy. I couldn't read any more.
No,
scenes
and you
were
know
so
what's sad
stupid.
is that Arrested Development had already started. That was 3 years earlier. Than
But also,
this.
she
This
was
is after Arrested
the
Development.
portion was like, I want to
Also,
be
she was also with
Yeah.
Ellen at this point. Like, just give it up and be a kept woman. You know, like.
Hey, Portia's a good actor though.
No, I love
Literally,
her.
though, if you think about it, though, she was one of the better actors.
Like out of that couple,
It's
she's
true.
out of that couple, she's the better person of that
She's
couple.
definitely the better person. Yeah,
So,
like 100%.
Okay, guys,
Really
back
good
to
for
more
us.
gay jokes,
Yeah.
though, because
more
wrestling time.
gay jokes.
Yeah.
More gay jokes. Hey man, it's like you want to touch
But
me
I
in the
really
wrestling
really
ring.
did
Oh.
wish-
Hey, you gonna touch my
I
balls
really
with
did
your
wish in
hand?
the scene he just turned full werewolf, and then like Teen Wolf, they were like
Yeah.
werewolf, yeah,
Oh my
werewolf
God.
wrestler.
Like, you get it,
all the
Teen Wolf
points.
happened, guys.
This movie would have
You
gotten
did say
all
that.
the
You did
points.
say that. You're
I
like,
would
I
have
got 5
loved that
stars.
because I love
By the way,
Teen Wolf.
can you give someone a stalled suplex and
I
amateur
guess
wrestling?
so.
The answer is no.
I was like,
The answer is
okay,
this is
they're
illegal.
doing
This is illegal.
they're doing amateur wrestling, and he's giving like hurricane ranas and
Yeah.
suplexes. I'm like, okay.
No, it was ridiculous.
Also, no one would do a stall suplex because no one would stick their legs up in the air like a fucking
yeah.
idiot.
He
They were
wasn't
like
so
straight
strong.
up. They were straight up.
Ah,
No,
he's
you
so
guys.
strong.
It wasn't because he
Yeah,
was
but you
strong.
wouldn't do that. You just
You
leave
guys,
your legs
it
limp.
wasn't
So
because he was
strong.
strong. It's because he was like maybe turned on.
Sexually attracted.
It's
Yeah,
like,
he's
ooh,
hard.
it's like,
I'm
ooh,
hard.
what? Ooh,
My legs are
what's
hard right now. No.
happening?
Okay, I'm liking this.
Yeah, exactly.
This is something we should explore a little more. I
Yeah.
think
This was
Yeah.
weird.
We didn't.
It was a weird scene that was like, okay.
And also, the weirdest part of this weird scene, though. The weirdest part of
I'm
this weird
saying
scene.
something.
So, Bo, he's wrestling Bo, and then another guy like comes in to like
Yeah,
run
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Like does a run in on
Yeah,
this
like, how
fucking
can
amateur
you-
wrestling match.
how they could have a
Yeah.
double
He
team.
takes Bo and flips him like 50
No,
times
yeah,
in the
yeah,
air.
yeah.
And then Bo just gets back up. It's cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
it's like,
Rock
what?
Hudson's like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
And it goes, it's like, I'm cool with this. I get flipped 50 times in a row.
Just to
Like,
say it,
all the
there's
time.
a way better high school wrestling scene,
what the fuck?
and it's in the Beverly
happened?
Hillbillies, and it's amazing. So
Yeah, like,
I
this
disagree because this movie is amazing.
No.
Like,
This movie-
I wrote here super strong, and I was like,
But
this is
also,
not amateur
like
wrestling. I was
the
like,
coach,
and
the
it was
coach like
just-
2-on-1.
yeah,
That's
they're like,
fine.
Yeah.
woo.
and I was like, this scene sucks.
The coach like let it continue, even
Okay,
though one
you
guy just
guys,
ran
let's
in.
move on to another scene that sucks. Okay, so
Craig Kilborn, guys.
Ellie,
It's
yeah,
not a scene
Ellie
that sucks.
is a
Kilborn's
producer,
in
I
it.
guess, on Craig Kilborn or like something, and she's getting him on the show, and then she's like having like cold sweats. Like I said, she's going through the change. She's having some shit happen, so
The
she goes
change.
into the
Menopause.
bathroom. Yeah, exactly. No, or like
I mean, it's kind of a metaphor for
or like
menopause.
cursed. What is it?
Cursed applause.
Is it cursed? The one with
This
the
movie's
girls
called
and their
Cursed.
teenagers.
This
Cursed
movie's
is
With
called
oh, this
Cursed,
one's
yeah,
cursed.
yeah.
What am I thinking of?
The
Ginger
Worst
Snaps.
Witch. The Worst
I'm thinking,
Witch.
No, I'm
The
thinking
Worst
of Ginger
Witch.
Snaps.
Oh, okay.
Not the worst
The Worst
witch.
Witch.
With Tim Curry, which
That's
will
a
watch
good
for
dog.
the movie.
Into
That's
the
our,
cat.
that's my next.
That's it.
That's my next pick. But so
We
yeah,
should go all
she goes
Halloween
into the
now.
bathroom. And she's in the stall, and she's clearly like
Oh, I
having
hate
some
this
issues.
fucking scene.
And her coworker's like, "Hey, is everything
I
okay?"
was upset.
What?
Are
Go
you?
away!
Hey, I'm just gonna keep.
Like, what if she's just sitting there painful
Yeah,
shit
like-
and you're gonna open the goddamn
You're
door?
opening the door!
You never open the door.
What is
Also-
wrong with
also,
you?
she
what is the
didn't
worst
lock
part
the
of this
door,
scene? What is the worst part
but-
of this scene, though?
Oh, so many things.
When she fucking grabs the door, bends
Bleeds
the metal,
and
and bleeds.
bleeds.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna come
But
back
then
now.
her fingers
What
like,
the
are
fuck is
fine.
happening?
What?
Like, go away!
She just keeps pushing. She's like, "Are you sure you're
Like,
okay?"
at the best,
Dude.
she's having a painful
Dude.
Wait,
shit.
you guys,
at the
is this-
worst, she's having a miscarriage.
Is this like a
Leave her the fuck
metaphor?
alone.
Is this a metaphor for women who have just been sexually exploited by
I don't
Harvey
know.
Weinstein,
If
and then
I'm-
other women are
If
coming
I am
in?
taking a
the
shit,
bathroom?
like Wes Craven knew.
if
right?
I'm
Right.
taking a
He
shit,
100%
okay,
knew.
if I'm taking a shit and you knock on the door and I say, go
Oh
away,
my god!
you go the
And
fuck
then you
away.
grab the
Yeah.
door and you're so hard that your hands bleed.
But
Go
no,
away.
I think we just figured it
What?
out. This movie is actually about Harvey
It's a
Weinstein.
Wes Craven
It's Wes Craven's
allegory
movie
of
about
Harvey
Harvey Weinstein because there's
Joshua
so
Jackson
many,
is
yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, there's
This
so many
killed
scenes
me.
in this where women are like, is everything okay?
I was
You're
mad.
like,
I'm glad you brought the scene up because I was mad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And like Jamie was like upset because like, you gotta calm down. I can't hear them. I'm like,
Like,
who
no!
cares? Who
you
cares?
don't do
in
this.
the real world, any human,
Yes.
okay, if someone else
Yes.
knocks in the bathroom door and says, are you okay? And they say, go away.
Yeah.
You go the fuck
You don't
away.
fucking push the door
I'm
open to the
gonna come in
The
and-
last thing you do.
I'm gonna watch you shit real quick. Like this is the only thing this woman can do. She's
Okay.
a pervert. Watch
I
this woman shit.
I wrote here, you deserve to get eaten. I
Yes.
thought she was gonna get eaten.
Yes.
Like, please eat
Yeah.
her. Like
I mean,
she's
she's the only one
done.
that was bleeding earlier, and she's still in the blood. Like, so,
God
okay,
damn
kill her,
it.
just kill her.
So we're back at the house,
It's
and
crazy.
Jesse Eisenberg's character is about to eat like a raw steak. Like he's like, shit's happening.
I'm very cool with it.
I
very
feel
cool
weird.
with it,
And the dog's like, shit, my owner is like a nutty. There's something wrong going on here. And then they have like an exchange, and the dog bites him. The dog bites him accidentally because he's not sure what's going on, right? But then who shows up, you guys?
This is second to the dog bites him because this time the dog is already turning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Because he bites him in the car. That's when he
Oh,
gets,
I
that's when
forgot.
he
Right,
turns,
okay, you're right, yeah. So, but you guys, who shows up? It's Bo.
Jimmy. Oh,
It's
Bo, that's right,
Jimmy,
Bo,
yeah.
that's
Jimmy.
Bo, and Bo is like, how did you know,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Yes,
You called
in the
me
re-
gay.
in the rest of the scene
Yeah.
was he called him gay. We didn't talk about
By
that.
the way, like, would it be cool to get like just have like a gay sex scene? Beautiful.
Sure.
Go for it.
But
They couldn't have that. in
Jimmy
this
isn't
movie.
gay. Jimmy's
Said
totally
fine.
straight.
Jimmy's straight.
Whereas
But guess
Bo
what?
is
Bo
so
is like-
Which, by the way,
gay.
like
gay.
Jimmy's like trying a little too hard to be like, I'm straight. I'm like, just do
It's
it.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine. I'm like,
It's
who
fine.
cares?
Plus, wouldn't make out with
I
Neil
like
than to make
ladies.
Leah. Wouldn't make out with him.
He's
too.
got some cheekbones, right?
Yeah, and you like kind of kiss that weird mouth, like it's like the weird mouth.
Okay,
is like-
kiss the side part here.
Right here.
So, but then, you guys, Zipper turns hard. Zipper turns into a were
Yeah,
dog.
like Zero does werewolf.
I
Okay.
never
Okay,
understood this.
But before this, we also have a really dumb scene that everyone knew already, where Jimmy grabs the pie serving tool that
oh
is
yeah,
silver,
that pie cutter, and he's
and then
just
he's like, "Oh, it's hot!
It's
Let me
silver."
grab this frame now.
yeah, and
oh,
he turns
it's
around.
fake.
It's stainless
But he
steel,
turns around,
It's
not
like stainless
silver.
steel.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
First of all, that's not
What?
stainless steel. It's plastic.
like,
Mhm.
what?
It's a plastic frame that is painted silver.
Maybe it's from like
Okay.
Pure.
100%. It is like a
No, it's from
$5 store.
Tiffany's.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah,
it's
oh no,
totally
it was
This
from
is
Tiffany's.
a dollar store
What?
frame.
Which, by the way, if it
What?
was from Tiffany's, it would be sterling, not stainless
But
steel.
What?
but also it's from the dollar store's plastic.
All right,
You can look
yeah,
at it.
it looks like garbage.
It just
yeah.
looks like
Shit.
silver.
Yeah.
Like when she
It's
first
shit.
picks up, like that's 100% not silver.
Yeah. But he picks up the pie server
Where's
and he's
the
like,
silver
"Oh,
frame?"
it's silver!"
And then we go right into Zipper the Weird Dog.
And
though.
Zipper, the were dog.
Were dog. It's a were
But
dog.
also, like, don't werewolves like not attack each other, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's-
Right?
But also, you can pass this from human to dogs.
To
like this doesn't
dog?
make any fucking
It's
sense.
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
This makes no
Word,
sense.
COVID,
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense.
So
It's so dumb.
but luckily Bo just is on board as soon as Zipper starts attacking them. Jimmy's like, "We gotta run," and Bo's like, "Okay,
at
we'll
this
go
point- At this
together."
point, before I talk about this, because this was when, before this, with the Craig Kidmore scene, Ellie had sucked on
That's
Craig
right.
Kidmore's finger.
Oh my God, we
Yeah,
forgot
so
This
Ellie.
is the point where I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
so
so
Craig,
Craig
like-
Kidmore's a werewolf then.
Craig gets like a
Because
paper
she
cut.
put her
yeah.
werewolf blood into his cut. Right?
Guys, he could,
Right?
Okay, no, hold on. He could be, because remember, he disappears later.
We never see him
We never
again.
see him.
Later, yeah.
He could be gone. He could be.
So is he a werewolf?
He got cured, because
Yeah.
we killed it.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
like? He never showed back
It
up.
is heavily implied now that Jake is a werewolf.
Right.
Well, I'm still calling
Yeah.
JJ at this point, because I don't remember seeing
So, but
like JJ, Joshua Jackson.
yeah. Yeah. So he